we had absolutely incredible sightings in Dudhwa and Pilibhit. Watch till the end of the video to know more about what to do, where to stay, and the complete cost of the itinerary. We took a late afternoon flight out of Pune to Lucknow, and on the very same day, Pune received its first pre-monsoon showers. We could see the thick, dark clouds as we took off. While the journey was uneventful, but the landing was quite another matter altogether. The pilots tried to land the first time but failed. On the second attempt, we successfully landed in Lucknow, only to receive a loud round of applause by the passengers. Right after checking into the hotel, we headed out to one of the most recommended restaurants in Lucknow, called as the Dastarkhawn. One might argue that the Tunde Kababi would have been a better choice, but we chose Dastarkhawn because of its proximity to where we were staying. I ordered a paneer dish because there wasn't anything else for vegetarians on the menu, and Ashwin ordered a masala chicken and the very famous galauti kebab with rumali roti and Mughlai paratha. Clearly, the galauti kebab and Mughlai paratha were the star dishes of the show. The dinner ended perfectly with the firni for dessert. We did a quick selection of saris and dresses at the famous Lucknowi handcrafted chicken work store, and of course picked it up on our way back. On the following morning, we took a taxi to Dudhwa, but not before trying the famous Sharma Ji ki chai. We checked into the Dudhwa Nirwana retreat, one of the most recommended resorts in the area. This is our garden suite. We had initially opted for a category lower than this, but then when we saw this room, we thought this was a better and beautiful looking room and we must stay here. This is the living area. What I like is it's very simple and not too done up with too much furniture. This is the bedroom, which has a neat little study here and a television, and then this also comes with a private garden. Let me take you there. And oh well, the temperature is 40. Soon after our lunch, we headed out for our very first safari, and we were absolutely dreading the scorching heat. Soon it was all forgotten as we saw the magnificent paradise flycatcher, arguably one of the most majestic birds. Dudhwa rightfully boasts of its conservation of the one-horned rhinos after their reintroduction in 1984. Only about 5 rhinos were translocated from Pobitara, Assam, into the lush green grasslands of Dudhwa. During the 2022 census, over 50 rhinos had happily made this place their home. The place of our day 2 morning safari was a haven for beautiful and colorful birds. We had a very rare sighting of an Asian woolly-necked stork in a nest with its cute little chicks. Just before the morning safari concluded, we sighted 2 tigers in succession. One was just a glimpse of a tiger getting up and walking back into the thickets, which we could not picture, of course, because it was too quick. And the other one was a sub-adult male in the nearby bushes resting beside a waterhole.
Okay, look here.
Dudhwa National Park has 2 forest ranges to select from for your safari experience. The Dudhwa Range, which is the most popular for sighting the big 3: elephants, rhinos, and of course the big cat. On the other hand, Kishanpur Range is a smaller region with lesser density of tigers, no rhinos, and very rarely elephants. But most certainly, it is a birder's paradise. We had booked 2 safaris each for both the ranges.
Quiet. We had a unbelievable sighting of a sub-adult male. Just walked into a water hole, drank water, and then decided to cool off for almost 20-25 minutes, and just couldn't take her.
About 40 minutes.
Just couldn't take our eyes off it. Well, that's a birthday well celebrated, I would say.
What was really interesting is the fact that while the tiger sat there for a little over 30 minutes, I think about 40 minutes, jeeps kept coming in, moving out, making a lot of noise. The tiger didn't seem disturbed by all of that. But then at one point, from the other side of the road, there was this bike that came, and then the tiger wasn't positioned in such a way that it could actually see the bike. It heard the bike, and then as soon as the bike approached the water hole, the tiger instantaneously just leapt up from the water and then went into the thickets, as if it probably must have had some kind of a bad experience or a negative experience with the bike. It was very apparent that it hated the bike sound. During our last safari in Dudhwa, we saw some tiger pug marks close to the watchtower, which was accessible on foot, and the only place one is allowed to step out of the jeep. We didn't have much luck with the tiger sighting in this safari, but we did see a rhino and her calf grazing in the vast grassland. After the morning safari on day 3, we came to Pilibhit and checked into our hotel. Like they say, greed has no limit, and since we had reached earlier than expected, we decided to check and see if they could arrange for a last-minute safari. And as luck would have it, we managed to get a last-minute safari. As soon as we entered the gate to begin our safari, we saw a large number of jeeps lined up and watching something. And there it was, a male tiger right in the middle of the road having his afternoon siesta, totally unbothered about all the jeeps with noisy onlookers. Well, that was our sight for the entire duration on the safari. Could we have asked for more? I don't think so. At Pilibhit, we stayed at this grand hotel called as the Royal Kingdom from Sarovar Portico. Here too, we got a complimentary upgrade. While the rooms were well appointed, the food was great, and they had a nice little bar. Unfortunately, the rooms were not properly soundproof. Our day 4 morning safari began with a sighting of two subadult sibling tigers, a bold female and a shy male.
रुक जाइए. They are saying that it's about 42, 43 degrees, but trust me, it's 50 degrees. And we're literally boiling inside our clothes, getting roasted nicely. Things we do for a glimpse of a tiger.
Oh yeah. That the winter sightings are also just as good as the summer sightings in Pilibhit and Dudhwa. And the second thing is that the grass is not as tall as it is now in the summer months. So the likelihood of sighting with less grass is better. Our afternoon safari was yet another one full of surprises. We first saw the mom tigress followed by her 2 or 3 cubs. They all soon went away because of the safari jeeps blocking their way.
Wow. तीसरा भी आ गया.
We were surprised by the state's efficient water management system. There are multiple canals feeding water all over the region. In fact, the double layered water supply canal were a magnificent sight to watch. As we started for our 8th and the last safari of this trip, and this was in the Surai range of Uttarakhand, we were hoping against hope that we would have one last sighting of the big cat. But as we drove through the jungles with absolutely no other safari jeeps, we started falling in love with the forest. It was changing every few meters. Tall trees, lush green bushes, rustling of the dried leaves, sound of the gushing waters in the canal nearby, songs of birds of all color, and the fresh air. We could not help but wish that we could stay longer here. As we drove along, all of a sudden we saw the only two other jeeps which were on the safari that morning parked next to each other, and people within those jeeps looking across the canal. And there it was, a tigress resting in the thick bushes beside the canal. At first, we could only see the black and yellow stripes between the bushes, but later what unfolded before us was absolutely delightful. It was a blockbuster sighting with the tigress and her 3 cubs, who couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 months old at best. The mom tigress decided to cool off in the water, and as she descended down, looking towards us, decided to give us a warning growl to keep distance. Then the most adorable thing happened. The 2 cubs sat on the edge looking at her mom for a few seconds and then decided to follow her in the water. Just sit back and relax and watch the next few minutes of this unedited footage.
Both.
still see the tiger, so यहाँ वहाँ जाके बैठ गए शेर के बीच में. The mother is also sitting with the ass.
पानी बैठी कुछ नहीं किया. ये इधर दिख रही है ना, बैठी तो लेटी है,
खेल रही है. हाँ, licking the cup.
How many sightings are enough sightings? Well, after having seen 15 different tigers, grown-up, sub-adult and cubs included, in 7 safaris out of 8, the answer is still, it is never enough. But we were happy and headed back home with utmost satisfaction. We came to the Lucknow airport for our late evening flight back to Pune, but not before trying out the Pani ke batashe, or Pani puri as we call it here. And of course the most famous basket chaat at the Royal Cafe. Here is a quick snapshot of our complete itinerary and the cost breakup. Please note that the booking of the safaris online on the government websites are always much cheaper than booking it through the resorts. These rates are as charged by the resorts and typically tend to be a little more expensive than the ones that you book through the government websites. There are other stay options and you should be able to upgrade or downgrade as your budget would permit. Yet another one of our wild sojourns had come to an end. Do we love forests? Yes, absolutely, more than anything else and always.